creative writers, then this is going to help you to shape your writer's thought process. This is going to help you. You can understand like how artistic creation takes place. So this is one of the important things. And as a writer, we can also take advantage of this. Like how we might get inspired, what is the stimuli that makes us inspired, how it is inspired, why we give so much importance to that stimuli, and we start writing. It is just the substitution of what we were doing during our childhood. And I hope you would like this session, and you can also share anything if you wish, and so we can get into conversation and make this webinar interesting. You can start a conversation as well. So you can write anything on the public chat. That you wish to be shared. And yes, we shall start by 9:10. Thank you for your patience, and thank you once again everybody for joining. And I hope this would be a fruitful session for everybody. I think Sigmund Freud is a very popular name. In fact, it is a very popular name. His theories are world renowned. And if you want to share anything about him, you can do that in the chat window, public chat which is there. And if you like any of his theories or experiments, you can also share that in the chat window. So writers are very powerful people. I think everybody is a writer, but the difference is someone has that capacity to present the content and some do not. But we do not know like which kind of art will be liked by which group of people in the society. So we should experiment, we should write, and we should let other people observe it, and other people check it and give their views on it, their feedback on it. And technically, if you see, the things are not very easier as it seems, as they seems. And because during childhood, like, we have created a world of our own, where we are the owner, we are the protagonist, and we have started seriously involved emotionally with that world, and we start doing that, and then we get emotionally attached, and then we relate it to the tangible thing, the reality that we have. Okay, and that play that we used to play during the childhood has effects on our on our psychology, on our psyche when we grow up. We shall see like okay, like what kind of like effect we have, we'll see that, and how that helps creative writers to start the writing process, or it is the same thing that is there, like the play that we used to play, okay, during our childhood. And I request once again everybody, you may share with your friends that this has started, so that they can come and join. And we shall start by 9:10. Yes, so we shall start now. And thank you once again, everybody, for joining. I hope this session will be fruitful. And please let me know in the feedback form like how we can create this session more engaging. And because like we have feedback form for engagement only, so you can share your views in the chat window itself, and not an issue. So technically it is time to start because it's already 9:10 and we have to start because people will be joining. Okay, not an issue. So creative writers and daydreaming by Sigmund Freud. This paper is basically what it tries to do is it attempts an explanation of the process of artistic creation on scientific ground. This is the theme of this paper. Like it tries to explain the process of artistic creation on scientific ground. And Sigmund Freud has taken this attempt. Previously, there are many, artistic people and many philosophers like Aristotle, Plato. They have their opinion on that. And this paper generally describes the outcomes and the research of Sigmund Freud on creative writers. Okay. And we'll see how it goes, like what things are there. So basically, I'm repeating once again, this is an attempt by Sigmund Freud on giving the scientific definition or scientific explanation of the process of artistic creation. I think you understand what is artistic creation. That is not a very complex term. Artistic creation, that is creative thing that is coming up from the artist. And what is creative thing? Creativity means imagination. Creativity means how you utilize your imagination to present something. Okay, it may be real, it may not be real, or it may be an enhanced form of reality. So imagination is something that is the opposite of reality. Okay, and reality is practical. We have 2 pens, we have purchased 2 pens, then this is reality. But we are wondering that we have purchased 50,000 pens, that is imaginary. So that's something else. But creative writer can present that 50,000 thing in a very different way that we can get pleasure out of it, we can get laughter, we can get sad out of it, and this feeling might not come from those 2 pens that we have bought. So that's the main difference between creative writers and normal people. So creative writers are basically, you can say, they are, some people will consider them as neurosis. I mean, they are neurotic. Some people will consider them as neurotic, and Plato called them madmen, but that's not the case. Let's see what Sigmund Freud has to say about them. Okay, and according to Sigmund Freud, he has different perspective on them, and we shall see that what is there. And the fact that creative writer has the content, like it has, like, they have the imagination. Apart from that, the thing that makes them, different from other people is the content and the presentation of content. That is what. So imagination is presented in such a way that it becomes very amusing, and the same time it can give some people a bad taste as well. And so impact increases, impact on the readers increases, and that is the difference between the creative writers and the normal people. And what Sigmund Freud is trying to do here, he is trying to propagate the concept called daydreaming, and now he is saying that creative writers are mere creative writers are basically no one but daydreamers. They are daydreamers, and we shall see what are daydreaming. Yes, this okay, today I'll do that. I do that, don't worry, I'll do that. I will do that. I'll share the feedback form. No, it happens because of the network issue sometimes. And if I close the window, then this message and all these things get away. So I would not do that this time. I would keep it for another half an hour after this get closed, the webinar get closed. Okay. So yes, this is an interesting topic because this is a literary theory, and as we are the people of literature, we need to understand all the literary theory so that we can teach students in better way, or we can understand the literature in better way, or if we are a critic, then we can also do that. Criticism is also a dominant part of literature, so this might help in criticism, okay, criticizing or producing something that might benefit a writer. Okay, so creative writing and daydreaming by Sigmund Freud is typically and yes, let's start. So as I have already discussed that it is an attempt of explanation by Sigmund Freud on scientific ground about the process of artistic creation. And now the first thing he does is that he compares. Let's see, we'll understand. We first need to understand how a child behaves in a certain way that relates to what happens after we grow up. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the first part is child's play. Okay, let's see. Now the child loves to play, like he creates world of his own or rearranges the thing to suit his likes. He takes this seriously. So first of all, let us understand what child does, what children do. We'll understand. Now children loves to play, okay, and they rearranges the things to suit them. Okay, probably they will start playing with the pen, probably they will start playing with the purse or anything that comes to them. Okay, probably they'll start playing with the cup, they'll start playing with the spoon, and the fact is that they are not supposed to be played as the child is playing with them. Okay, they have a different meaning, they have a different purpose, but child rearranges all these things according to his likes and dislikes. Okay, and this play which he does is taken seriously by the child. And but the opposite of this play is the reality. Spoon is for eating. Okay, spoon is not feeding. That's the reality, right? And the child invests emotions to them, like child connects to that play emotionally. Okay, but he knows the difference between reality and his world. And now what he starts to do, that he starts to relate the play with the reality. Okay, first he creates the world, his own world. Okay, this is what Sigmund Freud is explaining. First is child's play. He's doing what? He's first creating his own world. The child is creating his own world. Okay, and he rearranges the things to suit his likes, and he connects with it emotionally. Okay, but he knows that there is a difference between reality and imagined object, and that's why he tries to do what? He tries to relate his world to the reality. Okay, and now he's comparing this to the creative writers. Like creative writers also are what the child does when he plays. He creates a world of reality. Okay, now he also creates his world of reality. Creative writer, if we compare this one, he also creates his world of reality, and then he invests large amount of emotions and it separate it from reality. So if we can understand what child does, creates a imagined world and he starts playing with it and gets emotionally involved in that, and then he starts to do what? He starts to relate it to the reality. Similarly, creative writer does what? They also create something. They also behave as a child at play. They create their own world of reality. They take it seriously. They invest. They connect it with emotions, and they separate it from reality. Apart from that, there is a technique of art that can amuse more than in reality. Okay, that's one of the thing that we just talked. Okay, like he has that technique that can amuse more than reality. Okay, probably like as a creative writer, okay, he's describing suppose like during childhood we have spoon to play, but as a creative writer we might have a tree to play, and he can show the tree in a very different perspective. Okay, he can show